Hello viewers, welcome back to another episode in our Mahabharata series. Today, we dive into some truly extraordinary tales. We'll witness the remarkable births of the Nagas and Garuda, explore the legendary churning of the ocean for ancient treasures, observe the fierce battle between gods and demons for Amruth, the nectar of immortality, and encounter a shocking curse that leads to a tragic destiny. If you appreciate our work, please like and share this video with your friends and family. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to get notified when we upload a new episode. Our story begins with Sauti narrating the remarkable births of the Nagas and the fateful events that led their mother, Kadru, to curse them to burn in sacrificial flames. Long ago, the great Prajapati had two daughters, Kadru and Vinata. Both the sisters were wed to the sage Kashyapa. Over a period of time, Kashyapa was delighted by the devotion of his wives and granted each of them a boon. Kadru, with ambition burning in her heart, wished for 1,000 splendid, long-bodied and strong children. Vinata, on the other hand, desired two sons who would surpass Kadru's offspring in strength, energy, size and prowess. This wish sparked jealousy in Kadru, igniting a deep-seated desire to one day dominate her sister, Vinata. Unaware of the dark thoughts brewing in his wife's minds, Kashyapa granted their wishes and retreated into a long meditation in the forest. Kadru produced 1,000 snake eggs, while Vinata laid 2. After 500 years, Kadru's 1,000 eggs finally hatched, unleashing a host of magnificent serpents. Among them were Anantasesha, Vasuki, Airavata, Takshaka, Karkotaka, Dhananjaya, Kalakeya and many more, each with undeniable splendor. Meanwhile, Vinata's eggs remained unhatched and her heart burned with jealousy. Out of impatience and insecurity, Vinata broke one egg prematurely. From it emerged an embryo with a fully developed upper body but an undeveloped lower half. This newborn felt the sting of his mother's impatience as he gazed at his incomplete form, his heart filled with sorrow, realizing that his mother's ego had caused his condition. In a furious outburst, he cursed Vinata, sentencing her to 500 years of slavery, a punishment meant to humble her and guide her towards redemption. He warned his mother to take care of the second egg, allowing it to hatch naturally. Only the son born from this egg would have the power to free her from this curse. This half-formed embryo was none other than Aruna, who, despite his incomplete form, rose to the sky and became the revered charioteer of the sun. Some time later, the sisters beheld the divine horse Uchchaihsrava, a marvel that emerged during the legendary churning of the ocean. Shaunaka, curious and eager for the tale, asked why the gods undertook this monumental task and how Uchchaihsrava appeared. Sauti, ever the storyteller, began his explanation. The gods and asuras, driven by a desire to obtain Amruth, the nectar of immortality, and other celestial treasures, decided to churn the ocean. Using Mount Mandara as their churning rod and Vasuki, the king of serpents, as their rope, they began their epic endeavor. The ocean yielded many wondrous treasures, including Uchchaihsrava, the magnificent horse, Airavata, the mighty elephant, Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, Soma, the divine drink, the precious gem Kaustubha, and finally the coveted Amruth. Before Amruth emerged, the deadly poison Halahal surfaced from the ocean, threatening to destroy the entire universe. In a heroic act to save all creation, Lord Shiva swallowed the poison, holding it in his throat. This turned his throat blue, earning him the revered name Nilakantha. The churning continued, and eventually Dhanvantari appeared, bearing the Amruth in his hands. A fierce battle broke out between the gods and Asuras for possession of the Amruth. Vishnu, in the form of Mohini, an enchanting and beautiful woman, cleverly distracted the Asuras and secured the Amruth for the gods. However, a demon named Rahu disguised himself as a god and drank the nectar. Vishnu swiftly beheaded him before the nectar could pass his throat, creating the celestial entities Rahu and Ketu that cause eclipses. Enraged by their loss, the Asuras declared war on the gods over the treasures. Narayana and Nara joined the fray, wielding the divine Sudarshan Chakra, and ultimately they vanquished the Asuras. The gods celebrated their hard-won victory, returning to their celestial abodes with their treasures. They placed Mount Mandara back in its rightful place and entrusted the Amruth to Narayana for safekeeping. Thus, the nectar of immortality was obtained, and the divine horse Uchchaihsrava made its appearance. Sauti then continued narrating the story of Kadru, who was seeking an opportunity to dominate her sister Vinata. She sparked a heated conversation about the divine horse Uchchaihsrava and claimed the horse had a black tail. The confident and proud Vinata argued that Uchchaihsrava was a spotless white horse. Vinata went so far as to accuse her sister of being visually impaired. Their argument escalated into a wager. The loser would become the winner's slave. That night, determined to win, Kadru ordered her sons to transform into black hair and cover the horse's tail. The serpents, however, refused. They told their mother that deceiving her sister was a sin, and they wanted no part in her scheme. Kadru was livid. She couldn't believe her own children defied her and dared to preach righteousness. In her fury, she cursed them to burn in sacrificial flames, a fate that would be carried out by a future king named Janamejaya. The gods, recognizing the danger the serpents posed, supported Kadru's curse. They saw this as a necessary act to rid the world of some of the most vile and venomous creatures. Meanwhile, the sages in Naimisharanya grew impatient. Their curiosity piqued. They were eager to learn the outcome of Vinata and Kadru's wager and to discover the fate of Vinata's second egg. In our next episode, we will unravel the birth of Garuda and how he changes the destiny of his mother, Vinata. Don't forget to take a moment and subscribe to our channel. It helps us deliver more fascinating content from the treasure trove of Indian epics. See you in the next episode.